Hi Scorpio, this is your general tarot reading for Scorpio, Sun, Moon and Ascendant or Rising sign for the month of August. So Scorpio, we'll shuffle the cards as always, waiting on the right ones to come out just for you. And we'll talk about these energies. So I'm sure you felt that little thing that happened at the end of July, just a small little event called the Lunar eclipse. I'm sure you felt it, we all did. It happened for you in your 4th house, where everything is private, where everything is kept secret, where it's the house of the family, it's the house of the home. And maybe for you, Scorpio, there may have been an issue where you finally get to let go of old loyalties to people from the past. You know, last month we did speak about the issue of you seeing through truth and lies, and maybe you needed a bit of time to recover after that. So you spent time at home, you were licking your wounds, and as I said, you were probably making a clear point of separating who is allowed into your private space from now on and who isn't. You were retreating at home, seeing who you can be loyal to and who you just have to allow vanish now from your life. It could, for some of you, have spelt a period where you were really nursing a lot of old hurts, just taking that time. It was like a lot of hurts came to the surface, and even if they were a little bit vague, which sometimes they can be, you might have found you were playing them out through watching, you know, those kind of soppy movies, or listening to soppy music, or I don't know, sometimes it's quite common for when the moon goes through the 4th house for people to get very emotionally involved in the hurts of other people. But you're now putting in all the work of separating yourself from people who hurt you. So I don't know, you could have just put a lot of those feelings into feeling very sorry for other people, very sorry for people who really deserve a bit of care and attention. Maybe for animals, wounded animals, sick people, people with real vulnerabilities. You said, my God, I was given so much care and attention to people who didn't deserve my loyalty. I'm going to redirect my loyalties and put all of this heart and emotional care into people who really deserve it. Yeah. And to flip that up again, you see, it means a few things. For those of you, we spoke about this before, who have had to take care of people, maybe vulnerable people, as we spoke about last month, people who just needed extra attention. Sometimes it's children, family members, elders in our family or so on like that. And it may now come to a point where you retract some of your care. I'm not saying that you're just going to abandon somebody who needs your help, but it's a moment where it's perhaps not all on your shoulders to be the only caregiver to somebody who needs care, where it's not all on your shoulders to be the rescuer. The rescuer. Sometimes, Scorpio, you do have that tendency, which is actually really sweet. I do like this about you, but to bring people under your wing, the wounded bird syndrome, where you see somebody who needs a little bit of extra care and attention, and you'll wrap yourself around them, and you'll say, I'll protect you, I'll keep you safe, I'll nurture you, I'll nourish you. And for some reason, that comes to an end, that chapter of your life comes to an end. And like I said, it could be because you are no longer required to be the sole caregiver to somebody, or on the other side of things, that you have seen that this wonderful nurturing and nourishing that you've given to the wounded birds out there, that they didn't deserve some of your loyalty, and they didn't deserve that beautiful caring magic that you bring. So, as I said, a chapter ends. And also, a chapter ends where you felt you had to keep yourself to yourself. Perhaps because you couldn't trust other people. Or perhaps because you really felt you had to remove your care, love and concern from other people for some reason. But you had to go back and spend a bit of time on your own in isolation, where you probably did nurse a little bit of hurts there yourself. And it would have been a wonderful time for you to connect, Scorpio, with your ancestors, your family tree, drawing strength from those who've gone before us, even animal guides, spirit guides, and feeling very, very connected to that. But now allowing that to be a chapter in some way that ends. You could be closing off a period in a home or a house. Maybe you've come to the realization that you must leave some family members behind, that in order to get out there into the world and make it on your own without constantly worrying about certain family members perhaps, you decided enough. I'm going to just close that and I'm going to turn all my attention elsewhere. I'm going to come out to a little bit of a safe space. Perhaps something really triggered you at the end of July and you needed to go back and retreat into a safe space. But the good news is you're coming out of that now, Scorpio. And where are you going? You're going towards the sun, that brilliance, that glory in your 10th house of your career. It's good news, baby. Your career, after all that wonderful quiet time of reevaluating your needs, what you want, what you care for and who you care for, who matters and what matters now. You've thought about it, you've figured it out under that quiet reflective time, and now you're able to go back out into the world without any hang-ups or without any baggage, and put your face out there and be celebrated, be seen, be rewarded in your career. Certainly you're shining in August in your career, absolutely shining. You see, you've been hurt, and often what happens, Scorpio, is that when we go through very tough times, we're rewarded usually by going through a very positive time, and this month you're seeing it. You are shining for all people to see. Like I said, your career, if you've been really working hard on elevating something within your career, stepping out there, be seen by the boss, be seen by key people, having a good public reputation, if you're affiliated with a brand, because spending all that time at home, working at home, perhaps you were secretly or quietly in a safe space developing something that you can push out there into the public, something that has your name on it. If that's what you're doing, Scorpio, success, success, success this month. If it's just your career, the workplace that you go where you want to see yourself shine, again this month, success, success, success. For those of you who don't work, if you're retired or unemployed, this is a great time at the start of August to really see a success or reward coming from asserting your good reputation, looking for work. People could look at you and say, this is a responsible and respectable figure. I like them. I need them in on my project. I need them. And for those who are retired, if you are doing something, maybe working with a group of people, or dealing, some of you might be dealing with a government official, the police, some state official thing, trying to go through the government or the state to get documents pushed through or something to happen. This is where it's very positive. You get something official, perhaps, that you've been waiting on a long time for. So that's a very nice energy too. So what else is going on, Scorpio? Virgo. We start the month with Venus and Virgo in your 11th house. You are, okay, so you're tasting a bit of success at the start of this month. Really, really, really. And you are now taking a bit of time out to really see how you can take this success further, how you can keep going up, up, up. This is a month where you have, it's like somebody's giving you an inch within your career or within wherever it is that you stand out and are celebrated and recognized as a responsible and respectable person. You're being given an inch by key figures, by people who applaud you. And you're saying, well, thank you for that. Now, where's the rest of it? Give me an inch and I'll take a mile. You see an opportunity and you want to keep going. You're pushing this month, Scorpio. And it's very likely that if you get yourself really organized and get a good plan and strategy together, you could take 10 leaps up the career ladder. Not just one, but 10. So that's really good. Really good. Some energy there though at the beginning of August. Again, for those of you in a relationship or working with a partner or you're doing something one-on-one with somebody, they might melt your mind a little bit just at the start of the month because you may feel that they're invading your private space. For those in a relationship, you might feel that the other person won't give you a minute to relax. They keep demanding your time. Every time you sit back, you get the TV, switch it on for your favorite show, and you hear a voice saying, can you help me with this? Can you help me with that? I need you to do this. And you're like, oh, Mother of God, can I not have 5 minutes to myself? So there might be a moment where you bite a little bit, or should I say, raise your little tail and sting a little bit because somebody is invading your private space. Somebody that's already allowed in your space, but you're saying, okay, you're allowed in my space, but you're not allowed absolutely inside this special Scorpio space, which is just for me and me alone. You enter at your own risk. I do come with venom, you know. So be warned, be warned, be warned. So be careful of your venom this month because you may be challenged and you may say things that you might regret, but that's okay. Forewarned is forearmed, isn't that what they say? So remember that lovely calm space that you had been in or that you've had to retreat into. Remember to meditate, meditate, meditate. I can't hear them. They're not annoying me. They're not calling me to find something really random that they've lost in the house. It's not happening. I can't hear them. Yeah. For some of you, you might have a new love, somebody that you're alluring, and you may find that they're taking up a lot of your private time. They want to go out all the time, and you're saying, God, when do I get to tell them that I never go out this much? When do I reveal to them that I actually prefer staying at home? And as interesting as going to the cinema is, it's just not my thing. Can we not just watch a movie on Netflix? Yeah, you may have to have that conversation. Other nice things that are happening. We have a partial solar eclipse, Scorpio, happening on the 11th of August. It's a new moon again in your career. Around the 11th of August, if you really are pushing in your career, you're going to see a door really come wide open for you. The offer is there. But as always, as I say to everybody, these things only happen if you play the game. And I hope you are playing the game, Scorpio, because, I mean, we sometimes have to wait for opportunities like these to come along. So when they do come along, if you want to move up in the career, go for it, especially around the 11th of August. And if you want to make a good name for yourself or have a good reputation or be seen as a key figure, for those of you who maybe are leading a group, leading a team of people, being a leader in something, this is a great time to shine, baby. Great time. Other things that are happening, Mercury does go direct in in your third house on the 13th of August, your communication does flow that bit better. So hold out. Don't bite people until after the 13th of August, when your communication does flow a lot healthier. Now, there is this other thing that I want to talk about too, Scorpio. Venus is doing something interesting. She enters on the 6th of August, your 12th house, where secrets are, where hidden things are brought to the surface. And Venus has a lot to do with two things, love and money. For some of you, maybe you have a secret love. And that might be really ignited around August the 6th. For other Scorpios that are going, secret love? Are you crazy? I've already got one love, or I've already left one love. I can't cope with having a secret love now, please, please. For everybody else, Venus in the 12th house there is all about maybe, could be about finding hidden money. Finding hidden money, or finding secrets about some financial transaction that at first you're shocked, because your first reaction will be, well, that's not fair. I've just uncovered a secret here about money, somebody else's money, a partner's money, or something to do with a financial secret. And you're saying, that's not fair. But I'm just going to wait to see how this pans out. Now, I will say this, Scorpio, it's probably not the best month to take great big risks financially, because Venus in the 12th house can sometimes mean a loss of money. So it's not a great opportunity to take risks. The only time around the 7th of August is if you are doing something and taking a risk at home, maybe spending money on a household item or something like that. That seems to be okay, but it's not a time to be throwing money at things or at people this month, because it's money that could just get lost in a big abyss and a big hole that you'll never see the benefit of ever again. And also, if somebody is maybe offering you an option, they're saying, buy into this, it's only exclusive, it's only for a few people. Now, you're no fool, you don't buy into kind of crazy schemes very easily, but there's an element here where you may be quite tempted to buy into something that may be sold to you as being very exclusive and not a lot of people know about it, it's a bit of a secret. We'll say if it's that good, it can wait till September, when I have a better idea of what's going on. Wait. Don't throw money into something very, very secretive this month. Sadly, I will say this, there's also the energy here where some of you may be really saying goodbye to a lover. And those who are saying, sadly, you're crazy, I've been trying to get rid of them forever. I know, but for some of you, there is a moment where you really, if you want this relationship to work, you're going to have to really be intuitive, smart, upfront, and expose any hidden areas which may be sabotaging a relationship. It doesn't have to end if you don't want it to, but it's certainly very deep things, very hidden things have to come to the surface to be discussed. Otherwise, they'll stay like a kind of a bad patch that just won't go away. Just needs, it's not about putting, a bit of tape and doing a quick repair job over the relationship. You've got to go deeper. And Scorpio, you of all people, you're able to go deep, you're able to uncover, allow your real deep intuition to go inside now and not be a fool in love a little bit. Sometimes in every relationship there's a blind spot, and I think that's how we end up in relationships, because if we saw the truth of the people we end up with, we probably say, oh my God, really? Is this who I ended up with? I'm only teasing, but seems this month those blind spots in relationship, for those in a relationship, may come up. And it's up to you what to do with that, Scorpio. But just remember, everybody has flaws. Sometimes we just have to forgive that and not allow it to become something big and dramatic. You know what I mean? You'll know this as it goes on. There's an element of here too, of not being a bit of a over-sacrificer in your relationships, for those in a relationship, or if you're looking for a new relationship. Don't be always the one who bends and pleases for other people. While that's lovely, and while that encourages growth, and while that encourages a lovely free flow, it can also encourage a habit where you always get to be the one who has to bend, where you always get to be the one who has to give in, to be the sacrificer. Your needs now, after the big lunar eclipse, must be met. This is what you've learned. And go gently and go slowly with this. You can incorporate this into your relationship, for those in a relationship, but slowly, slowly, slowly begin to really assert yourself and not always be the one, as I said, who bends to the other person's will. Towards the end of the month, listen, August 25th, the sun in a very successful part in the 11th house, where you are really beginning to shine. Great, very successful month for you. You're getting very close to achieving some very great big dreams, Scorpio. I know the introduction is quite long here, sorry about that, because I know people complain to me, these videos are too long, can you not say everything in 10 minutes? Maybe I could, but I don't want to. Just don't think you can say all of this stuff in 10 minutes and really get to the crux of the problem, but I don't know, who knows, maybe you can, I can't. But towards the end of the month, certainly, there is a lovely aspect where you are achieving a lot of things. If you're working on something with a business partner or with a partner, both of you will see some real big success towards the end of the month. And if you are communicating something with this partner, if it involves communication on social media, selling something, selling an idea, it's a win at the end of the month for you, Scorpio, so well done. Now, 23 minutes, sorry. By now, this side actually, excuse me. Ta-da, you should be seeing the little magic overview so that we can talk about the cards. So, here we begin with what we call the soulmate card, the Two of Cups. This is a moment for you, Scorpio, where you regain a sense of, who do I love? I'm only focusing on those that I love, my lover, my partner, my very close and trusted friends, those who are loyal to me. I am only going to give my time, effort and love to those people. For others, this card can also mean that you are now entering a period where it seems to be very, very possible to enter a relationship with a very healing type of character. Somebody who comes in to nurse your wounds for a change. You've been the one giving out all the care and love to other people. Perhaps it's time now that somebody comes in and takes care of you, Scorpio. Seems that's what's needed here. That you just need that extra little bit of nourishing from somebody else, a gentle voice, a hand to hold. And it's not like you're a big child who needs somebody to come in and play mammy with you. You just need somebody to say, stop, Scorpio. You need a bit of care, you need a bit of love, and I'm going to supply that. And that could be the beginning of a wonderful, wonderful connection between you and somebody else. who brings that energy into you. Because temperance is all about purifying, healing. Certainly you are purifying and healing the real relationships in your life. You've gotten rid of the people who have proven to be unworthy, and now all your focus and attention is going into healing, mending, nourishing those who really matter. But certainly this is the energy of somebody coming in. And even though I'm saying a person coming in to care for you and nurture you and nourish you, the person may not present themselves as being typically like that. They may be quite jovial, quite boisterous, quite loud, laughing, telling you home truths. And you say, I thought you were supposed to care for me and nurture me. And they're saying, that's what I'm doing. I'm telling you where you're going wrong so that you don't make that mistake again. And then we can laugh it off. This is Sagittarian energy. That's the vibe of Sagittarius, saying, okay, so you've been through the shit. So you've had your heart broken. People have lied to you. Get over it. And Scorpio, you're not traditionally somebody who likes that phrase, get over it. You're saying, I'm Scorpio, are you serious? Do you not know me? But this seems to be the energy that really drives you this month. You like, there's something like a bit of tonic in this, like a medicine that you need for somebody to say, oh, come on, Scorpio, no more harboring all those bad feelings. You've done that shit. Come on, let's have a laugh. And laughter, taking it less seriously, seems to heal you. But yeah, really, the traditional meaning of this card, that some of you could find a real soul connection with the Sagittarius. I like it. They seem to be very good for you, very beneficial for some sense of healing. Because if you watch Scorpio, you open up with 2 cups, healing. The relationships now are all about healing and forming new bonds. You know, like when you were kids and you did that whole thing, thumb to thumb, like a blood bond, where you're now saying, this is my soul group, this is my core group. And this Sagittarian energy of communicating the truth is also bearing 2 cups and allowing that flow to happen. You're making a very deep bond with somebody this month, Scorpio. It's all about that. It's all about real, true bonds with real, true people. You're like James Bond, 007. And actually you are a little bit like 007 with all that Venus in the 12th house. That can represent being very tuned in to very subtle psychic energies and really getting pleasure from learning secrets. I don't know, you'll figure out what that means. Now here we go with a card that's so karmic. 10, Sun in the 10th house, Mercury retrograde in the 10th house, the new moon partial solar eclipse on the 11th of August in the 10th house. Recognition, glory, achievement, success. Where? Financial, career, in wherever it is that you stand out and where you're seen. You've completed something this month. You've gained, and you've gained financially, but now you're really beginning to see that this is my purpose. I'm following this path. I'm following this career. I'm following this because it's leading me to a greater sense of security. Yeah. And this is a family card too. Maybe you see at the beginning of the month a greater connection between you and your family because you filtered out the family members who have been maybe a bit disloyal to you, and you're really, really becoming loyal and bonded with those within your family who do care about you. So for some of you, it could be about setting up a new family, a new soul family that works for you. And this these key people who are positive for you in your life, your little soul tribe, bring you a wonderful sense of success and victory. You've mastered your money, you've received reward, you've been celebrated, and now you're getting the parade. But you know, because this card represents a mini victory of seeing a reward come to you, and you are being lavish. See, he's getting the laurel leaves thrown on him and the whole thing. He's getting rewarded and people love him. And this is the energy for you this month. But again, it's that thing of, this is the first little victory. There is more. There is further to go. There certainly is. Now, interesting, here we have mid-month, an energy of you taking all your energy up from something and going back and rethinking it and re-strategizing. Okay, this is a Virgo card. The sun on the 23rd of August does go into Virgo in your house of fame, glory, success, and rising to the top. And there may be a moment where you have to rethink, re-strategize, and replan your whole approach to your working life and to what it is that you're trying to focus on and master, in order to do what? In order to really reap the benefits. In order to become the king of money, the king of gold, the one who's able to sit on his throne so chilled out. Look, he's saying, he has his eyes closed, and what he's really doing is going, I've got the money, I've got the glory, I've got the power. That's what he's doing. He's totally in the zone. And I mean, you've got to admire this guy. Not only does he have all the status symbols that anybody needs, but he's wearing them all at once. We don't call this guy subtle. It's like wearing designer clothes, wearing the labels, wearing your wealth on the outside. But this is a month for that. It's a month of being a little bit excessive, celebrating. It's a really nice energy for you, Scorpio. Really nice. Because you're beginning to see all this success come to you. Finally, because I know you've worked hard for this. Didn't just come like that. Didn't come overnight. I know you've been working and you get there. But as I said, whatever it is you're mastering, whatever it is you're honed in on to make it work, to make the money, to make your success, there is that point where you will greatly benefit from re-strategizing. Re-strategizing. And again, for those who are trying to master a skill or a craft, if what you do requires talent on your part, then find your corner of your skill. Find a niche corner. Find your corner of the market. Discover what you're absolutely best at, what you're absolutely talented at that, and minimize it to make a perfect one thing rather than a kind of lots of very decent broad range of lots of things. Be good at one thing. And maybe that's what springs to mind mid-month. And that's what brings you ultimately the success that you need and the security. Again, security has been an issue for you, Scorpio. Being able to sit down, being uninterrupted in your sense of peace and quiet, uninterrupted by drama, uninterrupted by all the people who need something from you. And you do get that mid-month. Now, here we have the card of balancing your money. I touched on this a little bit. If there is a moment this month, Scorpio, where you may have to borrow money or lend money, if you can, if it's possible, if it's not an absolute emergency, can you hold off this month from borrowing or lending? Because Venus in the 12th house there is not supporting such things. 12th house is where things get lost. I don't want you losing money on anything. So borrowing and lending, if you can, as I say, try to put it off. Try to hold out. This is the card of balancing. Perhaps you don't need, perhaps the essence here is that maybe you thought you needed a cash injection from somewhere. Maybe you thought you needed this. But if you just take a step back and rebalance your finances a little bit, you may figure out that you probably don't need to borrow money. Or you probably don't need to be so worried about a debt. Maybe you can work it out, refinance, make smaller payments or postpone some payments. I mean, do tell the bank or the lender that you're postponing them. I mean, don't say, oh, I'm not just paying that debt. That would get you into a lot of trouble this month if you ignore debts too. Work it out. Talk, communicate, and reconsider your finances so that they work for you. Really, that they work for you, Scorpio. Now, here's the card. Okay, I'm going to go with this. Here's a card of you finally feeling that you can emerge from long-held hurts, long-held pain, and long-held suffering. From who? Maybe caused by very tricky people, caused by people who played you, caused by people who maybe came in. Did you ever see a Jack Russell dog? When they're going in for their prey, they lift up their back leg to pretend they're injured and wounded, so the animal doesn't see them as a threat. And it allows the Jack Russell to get closer and closer, and then boom. So there's a manipulation of, again, like the wounded bird syndrome. Somebody who may have entered your world pretending to be smaller, or pretended to be wounded, or pretending to need a lot of care and attention, and they tricked you, and they were disloyal to you, and it hurt you, Scorpio. It hurt you, and you've learned from this. Once bitten, twice shy. Once bitten, twice shy. It can't happen to you again. But the wonderful thing, to bring it back to the positive aspect of this coupling here, is that you've learned their game, and you will never allow that happen. But also, the magician can be very positive here. He can tell you that there is a way out of some of the heavier stuff that you've been experiencing, some of the deep wounds, disappointments, and hurts. There's a way out. There's an opportunity this month for you to get out of that. Could be a lot of it using your little psychic skills this month, and certainly all the hard work that you're putting in. There's a way out. But the magician said, look, there is a way out, but it's not the only door. The first big door is through your career, through standing back up again and taking better control of your career, and absolutely grabbing every opportunity in that arena that comes to you. But there are other ways, and this is the magician. He's going to, throughout the month, open lots of new doors for you and say, you can't stay like this. You can't stay in pain. You've had your period of nursing your wounds. It's time to go somewhere else, time to move on, time to get out of that, and time to use your willpower. Excuse me, Scorpio. This card can often represent a moment where a great sense of will comes back. I will succeed. I will get over whatever they've done to me. I will not let them get the best of me. I will rise to the top. And the magician is saying, of course you can. Of course you can. But before you say, I will rise to the top, I will make it big, I will get what I need financially, he's saying, door number one is, I will let go of all of those shady people, all of those people who disappointed me, who let me down. I will let go of that. Yeah. What else will you let go of? You will let go of that feeling of being held back, of yourself being held in a type of prison. Prison of the mind, sometimes self-imposed prisons. You weren't able to move. You were like an animal in a cage. It's time now, Scorpio. That door is opening. The cage door is opening. You're over the worst of it. You don't have to... I mean, you could have locked yourself in that cage, because at least in the cage, okay, you couldn't get out, but other people couldn't get in either. And you were nursing those wounds. But the cage door opens. And you see things this month for how they really are. Just like last month, you're seeing truths. You've seen truths about other people. You're seeing truths about yourself. You're seeing truths about relationships. You're seeing truths as well about family members and family dynamics, family politics, family situations. And you're saying, I'm going to take every one of those swords out, and I'm not going to be blinded to the truth anymore. That's the first thing too that I will do. And what happens when you do? Here comes the psychic queen, Scorpio. All that activity in the 12th house. Venus, the queen, 12th house, psychic, Scorpio, deep intuition, primal intuition. At the end of the month, you're going to be so powerful. All your will, drive and energy is coming back. And you're going to use that to do what? To be wiser, smarter, and to relax. To find peace in yourself. And look, she's not just the psychic queen, but she's full of joy, full of laughter, full of enthusiasm. She can laugh everything off because she doesn't take it so seriously. She's learned this lesson, and she's attracting more positive people into... This is big for you. Towards the end of the month, Scorpio, you're glowing with success this month, and you're attracting very positive people into your life. Fiery people, as we begin with Sagittarius. People who are prepared to celebrate you and applaud you. And people who are prepared to allow you be the fiery version of you, the warm version of you, the light-hearted. Towards the end of the month, it is true that I want to show you something. If you're familiar with this deck of cards, which being a Scorpio, I'm sure you're very familiar with a lot of cards. You see what she's holding in her hand? She's holding a sunflower. And if you see in this deck, if you're familiar with it, I don't know if I can find it, it might take too long to find it, but the sun, the sun card in the tarot is all about sunflowers. The sun is shining on a bunch of sunflowers. I'm scrolling through the cards here and I can't find them. And she literally has taken the sunshine and taken the sunflower, and she's like kind of holding it, wearing it, making it her emblem, making it her symbol. And what does the sunflower do? It follows the sun. You're following the sun this month. Your head will always turn to wherever brightness is, to wherever success is, to wherever glory is. And that's how you get the crown in the end. Scorpio, it's a beautiful month for you. Success, power, achievement. Going back, of course, to put more focus and emphasis on the work that you do so that you can even go higher, higher, higher. And for those looking for love, certainly with a fiery character, most likely a very Jupiterian character, probably somebody who is a Sagittarius or who has that very special quality that Sagittarius has here too. We also have the influence of Gemini here. Gemini could be the one, maybe mid-month around the 11th of August, who shows you all these new doors. A lot of earth energy here too. But earth, in this case for you, I believe, is getting back grounded within yourself and really achieving your dreams of success. So Scorpio, I'm going to leave it at that. All the videos this month are so long, I am so sorry about that, but it's the energy of the lunar eclipse that I want to really read this month for you all. So, Scorpio, As always, if this is the first time watching my video, then please subscribe. Join me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, She Bear Tarot. And do come back next month. And as always, Scorpio, I will leave you with a big kiss. Mwah, and all my love. See you next time, my gorgeous. Bye.